J360 Radio.
Hello, J360 Legion, and welcome to the J360 Mini Bites here on J360 Radio, hosted by J.M. Brady. I am your host, J.M. Brady. Let's get into it. Hey, how's it going, J360 Legion? This is J-Man, of course, for episode 207 of the Mini Bites, and we are back for a whole new week. Yeah, I know, it's Wednesday, and I'm just now getting the lineup ready for you all, but I've been busy lately, you know. It's time to go get some other content on the air again, and needless to say, I've been steadily working on it. Like, for what I've been having so far, quite a lot of the shows are ready for where they need to be at. This whole thing is really about maintenance and making sure, like, everything's together. I know I still got I'm ahead, but I still got a bit of things to do, if that makes sense. Like, it never ends around here. Like, you do have to do your upkeep. You do have to make sure, like, you're prepared for anything, because these terms of services are so stupid. I don't know if any of y'all have had trouble with YouTube lately, or you seen things on YouTube where they're, like, cracking down on various things that don't need to be cracked down on. But from what I got going on right now, it seems like they're trying to hide some of my videos, or they're trying to block out some Power Play episodes because the in-game music or whatever. So I am not putting up with that bullshit, and this will not be the only place where you're going to catch the content here. So I'm working on other stuff, and like I said, when it's all done and ready to go, you guys will have something to look at. I need to actually roll out syndication while I'm over here, so I'm doing the final checks on that and making sure, like, where the shows have landed, like, nothing got in the way of it, kind of like the whole Jams Spotify fiasco. But I do have to say this about Jams: we are kicking so much ass with that series. Ladies and gentlemen, you all deserve a bow. You all deserve greatness. These episodes of J360 Jams have been cooking, baby. Oh, we are just doing it. Yep. 89 episodes, and I'm just like, yes, this is the show that I want to do. You know what I mean? In addition to the J-Man show, in addition to Mini Bites, all the shows are doing great, but as we have came back with the top 3 right now, it's time for another one to step in, and this one is looking really good too. Like, you know, just seeing all the older episodes as I worked on them, fixed them up, put them where they need to be. Like, it's time to do new episodes on that, and then not to mention what is being followed after this. So it is a state of working on different things, but it is coming together like it's supposed to. And as I always say, you will always get a Mini Bites, a J-Man show episode, and a Jams episode if we are in session for Jams. But if we're not in session for Jams, which we aren't this week, you can still submit tracks. So remember that. You can always submit tracks for J360 Jams, okay? And make sure to use j360jams@gmail.com. That way, so I'll be able to see it. That way, like, the filter will not hide anything, and, you know, like, the spam messages and all. Because that was what kind of was messing up, like, when we only had, like, just the J360 Productions at Outlook.com. People would send their tracks, and then, you know, the old spams file came up and said, oh, like that one. We don't want that. Yeah, I remember having a fight with that a whole bunch of times. Yep. But, you know, like I said, you learn and you grow as you learn. So it's like one of those kind of things. In addition to, like, making some changes around here. But Jams is still staying the same. And for those that were actually watching it on the other channels, because we were, you know, simulcasting, it turns out some of y'all were loving that. I was like, okay. But here's the thing. We're going to do it a little bit differently. All right? Now, I should have a poll set up, but I'll probably have that set up for tomorrow about where exactly do you want to see that if we are going to simulcast, okay? This is where you guys get to pick. We are going to use the electoral process to do this. But, yeah, I'm going to have you guys vote for it, all right? All right. But speaking of which, Jams 90 is looking for other people to be a part of it. So if any of you musicians out there who have not made a debut or want to come back for another episode, please submit your tracks by May the 2nd for consideration, all right? And, of course, you know, like, this time where the submission stops is 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So that way, you know, we have that locked in for that episode. And you know what? I think this next batch of Jams episodes from 90 going to 100 is going to be so great. I'm just gonna sit back and wait to be surprised because I know it's gonna be awesome. You guys have not let me down. You've been doing great. Oof. I'm just so happy about all this. And we're on the cusp of Jamiversary too, so yeah. Your man's load isn't that light, but I don't want it to be anyway. I like doing this work, you know? Speaking of a large load of things, and no, we're not going to talk about the Trump trial because much like anything that surrounds that man, it needs to just be on the J-Man Show episode. But we are going to talk about TikTok now. So apparently Congress is trying to move forward with the TikTok ban. Some say it's for mental health. Other people say it's because of data issues. Other people say it's because, oh, it's Chinese owned, even though the owner is from Singapore, and not to mention, like, all the other stuff that goes on. Like, whatever the case may be. All I know is when I was on TikTok, right, I've had a chance to actually go all in on TikTok. You know what I mean? Because there was always something that I had to do on different networks. And then not to mention, like, I just, you know, never got into it like how everybody else did. You know, whether it's a mental health problem for the younger kids or whether it's, you know, they're spying on us. I like to think anything is spying on us now. I mean, from your smart TVs to like where people can listen in on when you're doing audio transmissions, when you're gaming and stuff, or like anything. There's always somebody in somebody's business, especially in the United States of America. And the truth is, it's all in your terms of services. Like anytime you're using like Facebook and Google, those are like two of the biggest culprits of this stuff. Twitter, the same thing. It's once again that we the people need to be careful of the things that we share and post. And then remember this, when you have stuff on the internet, it don't go away. Even if you forgot about it, even if you were drunk when you sent it, all that stuff, or you sent a dick pic out here to any of these girls that are trying to use the dick pic as a way to empower themselves by giving you a rating, it's, man, wow. The way our society treats one another is really friggin' stupid. And then not only that, you gotta look at the people that are involved in it, including yourself. We really do treat each other like a bunch of jackasses, right? And sometimes we laugh at this stuff, and then other times, when it's time to be serious and say, like, you know, this isn't cool. I don't care for this. Or, I want you out of my fucking life. You know, things like that. Everybody gets bent out of shape about things, but I don't know. Like, sometimes, you know, you gotta really get rid of the toxic shit. And that includes the stuff that is in your life and things like that from time to time. Because some of this stuff is not even funny. It's just sad. You know? I shouldn't have to tell you that stuff like that stays on the internet forever, regardless of what you do. But there are people that, remember the OnlyFans crowd I was talking about? Did you know that some of them believe that because of copyright, allegedly, or because they have lawyers and stuff, that they think that their material cannot appear on anything else, because if so, the lawyer will make sure that stuff goes away? Wow. Lawyers can do a lot of things. Let's not kid ourselves there. But lawyers are not that damn good to not understand that how the internet works. If it's out here, it's out here. And you solicit it yourself for chump change, and you think you're better than everybody else, and then you don't know how the fucking internet works. See, that's where it's laughable. Or like any of those people, like right now, Warhammer 40K is going through something. It is because they're trying to please that progressive agenda that's going on. Accept us, see us, you know, we're here. You have to accept us. You have to be a part of all this stuff. That shit's getting old, man. It's really getting old. Look, here's the thing. True equality is me seeing you and accepting you and not giving you special treatment. That's real equality. You know? But hell, what do I know, right? It's not like a whole bunch of these people freaked out over a damn video game character because the model for that video game character is a beautiful woman that keeps herself in shape and really takes care of herself. And got all of these people, especially women, jealous. You know, it's like this. Different strokes for different folks. I'm sure there are people out there who like fat women. I'm sure there's people out there who like, thick women. I'm sure there's people out there who like bodybuilder women. I'm sure there's people out there who like transgender people. It is what it is. But I mean, at the end of the day, life is so complicated and ridiculous these days. You would think we would all get rid of all the petty shit and actually acknowledge that some of the things that we did were wrong and move on from it. Remember Brie Larson's little speech about like how it wasn't made for the 40-year-old white dude? Some things on this earth are not made for transgender and LGBTQ people. Right? You know what I mean? Or black people or whatever. Like, I get it. Like, a lot of us are like, well, we should have representation. We should feel comfortable about things. It's like this. Nobody really wants all this comfort. If you really want all this comfort, something about this is kind of sus. And I'm letting you all know that. And, like, you see a lot of it on TikTok all the time. All these people sharing parts about their lives. But you got to realize that TikTok, much like any other spot, is just a window into seeing something that may or may not be real. A lot of this social media stuff, yeah, it's a part of you. And a lot of people try to say, I am not my social media. I debunked that years ago, by the way. You are your social media. You are what the hell you put out here. And you just don't want to take responsibility for it unless it's positive reinforcement or unless it went viral or all this other crazy shit. And that's what's so sad about it. Like, some people are freaking out about AI all the time, but it's like, even to the point where some of the AI stuff is just dumb. Because it was made by people that are flawed like us. Or, a bunch of other things that are going on. And if you complain about it, you got to be this bad, this negative label, or all of the names in the book, all this other crazy shit. It's so stupid. That's why I say it's hard to be human sometimes. But you see, the thing about being human is you got to make choices about things. And like when I speak out about some of the things with TikTok, like our government is ran by a bunch of fucking morons at best too. Because, let alone what the hell's going on with gaming, like, banning TikTok, you think that's going to solve anything? Quite a lot of people in the world use TikTok. I don't know why the government wants to go ahead and put into plans things that no sane person has the ability to enforce, let alone try to enforce. You know what I mean? It's impossible to do some of this stuff. You know what I mean? And not only that, it's man-made. Like, some of us need to disconnect from our phones anyway. I do it. Do you? What is so amazing about any of the stuff that's going on that sucks you in that you can't get out of it? Like, after a while, maybe it's because I work in media and all I ever do is work with this stuff and I know when to get out. Whereas some of you guys out there probably have other jobs. Of course you do. And, maybe it's different for you. Maybe it's a whole different experience. I don't know what it is. But I look at all this stuff from time to time and I'm like, a TikTok ban's not going to solve anything, much like how they're trying to change the census to include all nationalities. That's not going to change anything. This stuff is going to still be full of strife, full of ignorance, full of lies, full of ridiculousness. And then not only that, you're trying to put the lid on something that's already open. That's stupid. You know what I mean? It's like trying to change stuff around and say you made progress, but you ruined an IP. Or it's like trying to say, guess what? I want to get all of the people in the audience back after you done alienated them. It doesn't even out like that. And it's really a damn shame. So, no, I don't think the TikTok ban's going to work. I don't know exactly what things are going to look like when it's about election time. But, if Trump ever gets back in office, I know exactly who to blame. And the truth is, it's going to be all the stupid progressive hacks running around here just finding new ways to fuck shit up. And then not to mention all the conservative fools sitting there waiting for you to mess up. This whole thing is just, ugh. But, I digress because I should talk about it on the J-Man show coming tomorrow. But until then, though, I got to get on out of here. But you guys know about jams. You know about the J-Man show happening tomorrow. And I got to get some of this stuff done around here. But until then, you guys take care of yourselves. This is J-Man signing off. And we're going to have one hell of a great week. Peace.